in January. Hey, what did y'all think? What was y'all's favorite flavor of pecans that y'all purchased from us back in December? Who did you give it to? How did you give it? Who had the most creative gift packaging that they gave to someone? Those are all things that you can do. Maybe even you start taking pictures behind the scenes. Check it out, this is the farm. We're actually going and growing the pecans. Let me show you some of the things that we do. Hey, you want to grow some from home? That's great. Let me tell you a couple of things. Here are a couple ideas. Maybe this is how often you should water them, how you should fertilize them. So those are things, it's just, there's a lot of things that you can do. It's not, when you think about social media for business, it's not pinpoint. There's all these other things going on that all add together to be a business.
How about the rest of you? Do you think you can use traditional media to support a seasonal business?
I think that was really good what Patrick said, and I think that what he was talking about is just kind of creating a market. I think that as a business owner, if you have a seasonal business and you think that you can sell, just kind of in one season, I think that you are making a huge mistake and being very close-minded and not very creative about your business. I don't know when National Pecan Day is, but there's a good chance it's not in December when your big month is, and so create an event around it. Seasonal business, the idea of seasonal business is relative. You can sell anything to anybody if you're saying the right thing.
There's a great example of that. Some of you in the room are not as old as I am, but many of you may remember back in the old days that we used to have to buy antifreeze for your car. If you look at any auto supply house now, you will not find antifreeze. What you will find is winter summer coolant. And the reason that you now have winter summer coolant rather than antifreeze is that Preston did some studies and discovered that they could actually spend less money if they advertised 12 months out of the year than if they advertised the 4 to 5 months that they normally advertise in the winter. And that's an old-time example, but it's for real. That's why you have winter summer coolant. Try and find antifreeze now, you can't.
I've actually got a bad example of that, I think. Does everyone remember when Anheuser-Busch developed Bud Light Lime? And they did it in the summertime, and they ran this just awesome Jimmy Buffett style type summertime drink, the beach anywhere kind of campaign. And then the summer ended, and then they were like, "Oh crap! let's run a campaign of people in Aspen in a hot tub, wishing they were at the beach, and we'll sell Bud Light Lime in the wintertime too." And it was just incredibly awkward. But they could have made millions off of it. I have no idea. It could have been really successful, but I just remember watching that and thinking that they didn't really play that out very well.
One last question. How has the weak economy of the last couple of years changed the mix of media that you buy for your clients? I guess that would be the question.
The weak economy is interesting, but also the Augusta economy is interesting. And I was talking about it with Neil earlier, Augusta's just weird in general, but weird when it comes to advertisers, because there's not a lot of peer pressure across category to spend a bunch of money in media. Obviously, the big time players are always going to advertise a bunch. Hospitals, car dealerships, big volume people are always going to advertise, and all of their competition is doing it, so everybody feels pretty good about spending a big chunk of money. But in a medium-sized market, in your specific category, if you're pecans or if you're whatever, you don't have a lot of other people necessarily, that's right around the corner that's spending a bunch of money, and you feel like you got to race up to that. So as sellers of advertising and as an agency, you have to get really creative on how you convince people that being out there is where they need to be. In a weak economy and in Augusta, people don't have a lot of money to spend, for the most part. So what we have done for a few people is develop events and kind of pair one media with something interesting, whether it's online or something like that. So events are always good. And in support of that event, there's going to be print, there's going to be radio in a lot of cases. But the key, and we've touched on several questions, is the quality of content. And that's just a theme we keep kind of coming back to. So that's what you say.
Great questions, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this session. I suspect we could probably do a couple more of these in the future, but I'll let Justin start with that. Thank you very much.
Dr. Coleman and everyone did a great job. Thank everybody for coming. Hope you learned something and had a good time interacting with your fellow advertising and marketing professionals. Don't forget the surveys on the middle of your table. You can either hand those to one of us or drop it off on that little silver table over there near the door. Remember the membership campaign we got going? Be sure to wait to join up. Now's the time. Get into that gift card. Next mixer is June 23rd at Casablanca. All our information, sign up for our newsletter at AAF.com. Thank you for coming.
Oh, no.